Welcome, everybody, to the 10th episode of the Potato Aim Podcast. I'm BumpyRug. You can find me on twitch.tv/BumpyRug or Instagram @BumpyRug and Twitter @RugBumpy.
And what is up, everybody? I am Raveneff. You can follow me on twitch.tv @Raveneff. You can follow me on Twitter @Raveneff0_O, as well as Instagram @Raveneff0_O. So for this week's episode, we're going to be touching on the multiplayer reveal from Call of Duty. But first, real quick, excuse me. I got to get my thoughts together here. I'm having some issues tonight. Don't mind me. As we do every week, we're going to continue trying to discuss a little bit about gaming news. This week, as far as I'm aware, we don't really have a whole lot other than the new update called Beyond for No Man's Sky. Good God, like I said, I can't think. Are
you okay?
My mind, I'm not okay, man. I am not okay. Two podcast recordings in one day is starting to mess with me, I guess, a little bit here. The big update for No Man's Sky is coming out August 14th. It looks, I don't know if anybody out there is still really playing No Man's Sky. I kind of go back every once in a while, just load it up, kind of see how much has changed. And I got to say, I know we talked about it a while back on one of the episodes about being disappointing and everything else. They've done so much to the game. If you own the game, I definitely recommend checking it out. Or if you can get it on a good deal for like $20 or something like that, it's definitely worth checking out, since you can actually play multiplayer with people now. You can build bases and, do so much more now than what you could before. I don't have all the details. I'm not going to try searching them up real at the moment for the Beyond update, but check it out. You can go to GameSpot.com or IGN. They should all have the information, as well as Hello Games website, which I think is HelloGames.com. I don't know. Let's see. Red Dead Redemption 2 has promised more online content. Still waiting to see exactly what they're going to be doing with it. I saw something that they're talking about re-rolling your characters and things like that, so kind of starting over again. So I'm not sure what all that's going to entail. The article that I found didn't really discuss anything other than that. Like, it was literally 4 sentences that, it's being discussed by devs. I don't know. Kind of seems like it's been a slow news week, at least from our end. Rainbow Six Siege Year 4 Season 3 operators are being discussed and potentially leaked. I'm trying to see at the moment. It was on Reddit. Seems like it's 2 operators that come from South America. So That's kind of interesting. Yeah. There's like no information really on this article that I'm looking at the moment. So definitely worth checking out. I have nobody from any of the additional seasons or anything like that, additional years, except for like maybe 1 or 2 that I purchased after I played enough games to get their coins and everything. So I'm so far behind on Siege, it's not even funny. And one of the biggest things to me that I actually thought was pretty cool, I don't really play the WWE 2K games, and I'm sure they'll touch on this on the Crimson Mask episode. So WWE 2K20 is going to finally be adding females in career mode. So for anybody that plays career, no WWE game that I know of has ever had female career mode. So I think that's pretty awesome that they're finally getting around to it. I mean, it is 2019. It's a 2020 title. It's a bit overdue, in my opinion. I mean, the Divas have been such a huge part of WWE for a while. I mean, they have their own pay-per-views and everything now. Like, the fact that they're just getting around to adding female characters for career mode, to me, is a little ridiculous. But who am I? Again, I don't even play it, so it's not like it really makes that much of a difference to me. I just think it's awesome that they're finally doing it. You got anything to add there, Bumpy?
Yeah, just touching on that last topic. It's not the days where it was like, hey, we're just going to take like 2 supermodels and like have them go out there and wrestle each other for the fans, viewing pleasure. There's actually a lot of technical female wrestlers that are out now. I went to an ROH match a while back, and I was kind of blown away that they were actually having better matches than some of like the head male talent. I mean, they're definitely breaking in, to the business in a crazy way. But no, really, the only thing I had was Ninja leaving Twitch. I think everybody's been talking about it.
That's probably like the biggest news out of the week, I think, aside from the multiplayer reveal for COD.
Oh, yeah. I mean, him just, I think we've speculated on how much they've paid him and everything to go do it, which, him stating, I want to get back to my roots and everything. That's a big move and a lot of money that you're giving up to get back to your roots, man. Like, and granted, he probably doesn't need a whole lot of money. Like, I'm sure he's probably well off, but we'll see. I think he's already had his first stream up on Mixer, so
Mhm.
we'll see how he does. I know his Twitch page, it kind of dipped a little bit in followers and subscribers, but not like by a large margin.
Right.
But I think he was top, and now I think Shroud's actually top in Twitch. And I
So,
mean,
yeah, Stroud's taking over the number one spot. I think followed by Tim. I think.
yeah, and Doc probably can't be. I think Tifu's up there too. He might be like two or three now, maybe
Yeah, I
three.
believe
But
so.
I mean, you could think about like what this could do for the future. What if Mixer, what if it blows up with Ninja and then you see Tim leave or you see Dr. Disrespect leave or Tifu or, a lot of big
Right.
streamers make the shift. Twitch could suffer quite a bit from this.
I mean, yeah, they really could. There was something that came out really quick before we move on. That Ninja came or made up something like 0.07% or point
Mhm.
7, yeah, 0.07% of Twitch's viewed hours or something like that. Like, just for everybody to know, Twitch hit like over so many million streamers over the last year or so, I believe. And for him to hit almost 1/100th of that is absolutely crazy.
It's
That's
astronomical. Like
yes,
that's
like
nuts.
a lot of people are going to think like that doesn't make up for a lot, but for one guy who took a lot of time off this year because he was traveling and doing so many different events and everything, excuse me. Oh, that's astronomical. I think they will suffer a bit, but I think they have enough around to make up for it. And yeah, I think Mixer is definitely gonna blow up from it. Did you see what some of the articles were actually saying that he was offered though by Microsoft and Mixer and all that?
Wasn't like $500 million or just something ridiculous like
Yes,
that.
some astronomical amount. A few articles that I saw mentioned nearly $500 million because people were saying like, oh, he's gonna lose money. It's not worth it to go to Mixer, and they're like, $500 million definitely sounds worth it to me. When
Yeah, I
I
don't
read
think he
that
really
number, I was
losing
like,
money.
holy shit! Like he just signed a contract and everything for them for more than pretty much any major or any major athlete in the country. Like he just made more than what NFL team salary caps are for the year for 53 players.
That's what's crazy too is he could go from streaming like what 8 hours a day. He could do like 4 hours a day, and what's gonna be like? Oh, I don't need the money. I mean, from
Yeah,
streaming now, you guys just gave me $500 million. I mean, if I had
yeah.
$500 million, I would pay like everybody $1,000 to leave me alone for the rest of my life. That's like it's a crazy amount of money. But the only, I mean, I'm sure Shroud and like Tifu and all of them are probably happy because they're not going to get all of the people that were watching Ninja. They're going to try to find somebody else to watch.
Yeah, and
So,
that's actually what they're doing with his channel now. Apparently on Twitch, is they're highlighting other streamers now. So
mhm.
like when people go to Ninja's channel, it's been showing Shroud, Tfue, uh, Tim, whoever else, Myth, anybody else.
Lupo, yeah,
Yeah,
all of them.
just whomever, just whomever.
Courage.
So, but I gotta say though, Mixer is definitely an underrated platform. I think because I have checked out some people's streams on there, and for those of you that don't know about like the overlays and everything like that, Twitch has it, or Twitch, God, see, Mixer has it to where if you're streaming from Xbox, you can go on to lightstream.net or org, whatever hell it is, and you can put overlays directly onto your channel without needing to have a capture card and everything done on your PC like that. So it's integrated directly into Xbox, which is absolutely awesome because a lot of people don't have the PC that's capable of streaming and everything like that. The overlays just make things more appealing to a lot of people. It doesn't really matter to me, but
Mixer, if you pay me $5, I'll switch over right now. I'm a sellout. I'll do it. Whatever you want. Um, the only other thing I had other than that is Destiny's DLC that was slated for September for their, I think it was their 3-year anniversary of the game dropping, Shadowkeep. It got pushed back to October 1st. Couldn't really find out why. I know they said that they were going to fill with like another Iron Banner and stuff like that, and they were going to have content in between to kind of gap it, which I think it was coming out mid-September, so waiting another like half of a month isn't that big of a deal for a brand new like story-driven DLC for them. And then another Destiny note because I got to talk about Destiny at least once a podcast. Um, they're integrating the switch from you can take your account off your Xbox or your PlayStation and migrate it over to PC, which I have it for PC. My problem was that I didn't want to grind out 3 brand new characters, but now I won't have to. I can just migrate it straight over to the PC. I have all my stuff, all my progress is saved, so that's awesome. It's huge for people that want to jump on the PC because Destiny's more the community's switched to PC more. So there's more people doing stuff on PC to help out with like raids, looking for groups and stuff like that. But all right, out of the big news, Modern Warfare multiplayer. It was August 1st, so almost a week from today. They showcased it, straight multiplayer. They started out with that amazing trailer. Believe Enter Sandman was a song they went to, and it tied it all together. And that's one thing that amazes me is when they show Call of Duty trailers, they always pick like the right song for it. It's always like the best song, and that's dating back all the way to like Modern Warfare 2. A couple of things they showed off. As I was watching, I was making a list, and we're just gonna kind of go down it. But no more pick 10. You don't have to like cap yourself with the attachments and changes and equipment, all of that. Like I'm sure you still can't put like 30 frag grenades on your character or whatever, but it's nice not to be capped out anymore. Not to be like, okay, I can only have so many things on here, and yada yada yada. They're orienting or orient. Now I can't talk, man. You're rubbing off on me. They're making it to where moving through the maps now is more military based. And by that I mean if there's a choke point, if your team pushes, takes the choke point, takes that intersection, any avenues of approach, you hold those down with like, suppressing fire, you're going to run the map, which I think is really cool. They're really making this a military driven shooter as much as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome, especially with the choke points. Because while I was watching it, I've gone back and watched the gameplay several times by now, probably since Friday night. I watched a little bit of it, I think, and then let's see, I worked double Saturday, yeah, Sunday. When I came home on Sunday, I started playing it again. I played it a little bit this morning. Just hanging out, put it on my phone, and I noticed a lot of things that I missed the first couple times, like. A lot of times, like a lot of weapons, like with the M4, the FAMAS, whatever you want to call it, because I think it's not called the FAMAS on this one. I can't remember. But like I saw a lot of people getting absolutely ripped to shreds with very few bullets when they were getting hit like center mass and headshot. Like I know you've played Call of Duty long enough. I'm sure a lot of people that are going to watch this have. You had times when you got to get like 3-4 headshots on somebody for them to finally die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude got caught in the head one time by somebody and was done, just gone, and then he got shot in the head with an M4. So I'm like, suppressive fire, I feel like on this with those choke points are going to be much more advantageous and much harder to take over now because it seems like they have moved to a bit more realistic. Like it reminds me of back in COD 4 with the stopping power, especially with like the M16 or the AK-47 on COD 4 with stopping power, because those two were just nasty.
Oh yeah.
If they got you in the head, you were done. It might take 2 rounds for the AK because they didn't want to make it too overpowered, but still, it was one of the last ones. I feel like maybe Modern Warfare 2 choke points actually mattered at times as well. But after that, the movement and everything got to be so crazy that it really didn't mean anything because you can move around quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this one, I definitely feel like you got to think and you got to play. And a lot of guys that were playing it and getting interviewed by Doug Sensor Martin, he was talking about that, or they were all speaking on that. Like, I started playing it like it's Black Ops 4. You can't do it. Like, you can't just go down the streets full on sprinting. You're gonna get fucked up if you do. One was like, I went sprinting, I went through the door. Somebody just got in there and they absolutely shredded me apart because I went through the door full sprint. So that's what I'm looking forward to because I absolutely love the more tactical gameplay. Like, it still plays fast, like some other Call of Duties, but it's not like Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, any of these other newer titles. So I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I kind of saw it too because if you looked at the beginning of the stream with like the gameplay, they went to Shroud, and Shroud, who is like God's gift to man when it comes to video games, anything he touches turns to gold. He jumped into a game, and the first 3 times he took contact, he just got absolutely mowed down. And you kind of saw that little light bulb go off to, hey, I can't play this like a regular Call of Duty, like you said. It's a completely different game. I mean, it looks the same, but it's not. And not even having a hands-on touch with it, which, by the way, the beta drops September 12th, or I think.
The early access September 12th, and of course, I had a feeling it was going to be that weekend because I'm not going to be available to play it.
It's coming on PlayStation first.
Motherfucker, oh, yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. Put a mark on the board for Xbox right there, baby. Also,
what do you mean put a mark on there for Xbox? Like,
because I'm an Xbox player, and that I finally get one up on you, man. They've been catering you guys for too long.
It's still coming to PlayStation first.
Yeah, but just let me have this one, okay? Let me have this one.
No,
yes,
I can't.
Absolutely, 100%. Moving on. They're speculated 30 to 60 attachments per weapon, 30 being on the small side of sidearms, which if you saw that Desert Eagle, oh my God. I mean, extended mag, extended barrel, red dot, and then on top of the 30 to 60 attachments, 60 obviously being like primary weapons, caliber changes and stock changes in the, what would they call it, the weaponsmith or something like that? Gunsmith, thank you. To where you can make the AK, oh, don't even give me that, where you can make the AK-47, change out the caliber, change out the stock, and now you have the AK-74U, which is huge because instead of, I'm just going to, switch to this gun like every other Call of Duty, you go to your SMGs, go down, grab it. No, I can just change it right there on my primary that I'm comfortable with. I like that. That kind of ties into the next thing I was going to go off of, which was you can change your equipment mid-game. That's huge. I mean, Battlefield 4 had it. I believe all Battlefields kind of had it in a sense, but
yeah,
that's huge. So if I'm using an ACOG, because I don't know about you, but personally, I'll be using a weapon, throw an ACOG on there. Okay, this map isn't made for an ACOG. I need a red dot, but I can't equip it until the end of the game. Now you just go into the menu, switch that bad boy out, and then boom. Rock and roll, like that's huge.
I got a tickle in the back of my throat. God, it's killing me. So that's exactly why, like back on like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, like some of the other ones, when you can start to have more than like just the 5 created classes, like especially Black Ops 1, man, I had like 2 or 3 different variations of a bunch of different guns. Like the FAMAS back on there, I would have one with a dual mag and red dot, and then I'd have one with a suppressor and the dual mags for like playing search and destroy or whatever, and because I would run into that situation all the time, like, fuck, man, this isn't working for me. I want to use the same weapon because the weapon is great on this map, but I don't have the right attachments on it for what's currently going on. So now you just switch on, when you die or whatever, you do what you got to do, you jump right back in, and you can do it anytime. It's not like you got 1 or 2 edits per game. So I mean, that's awesome. I think it's about time they kind of caught up to the times with that mode or with that type of feature. Instead of just saying, hey, you're in with this, especially because, like people that got kids or whatever, got stuff going on, they don't always have time to sit down and edit stuff at or between lobbies or whatever. As simple as something like that might sound, that can be an inconvenience for a lot of people. So just being able to do that mid game is great for a lot of different reasons. And then, the sights, like you're talking about the extended barrel for the Desert Eagle. When I saw that extended barrel, the mag, and then the scope or the red dot or whatever they put on it, it was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go back to pistol sniping people with the Deagle again, man. I used to love doing that on old gods. People be across the map and you one-shot headshot them with the Deagle, and the hate messages would fucking flow in. God, I used to love it.
What I loved about it was when they pulled that Desert Eagle out, that fully like kitted Desert Eagle, it looked like a primary weapon. It didn't look like a secondary anymore. You're like, I could run the whole game with this.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that thing absolutely shredded. Like, absolutely shredded. And I loved watching the gameplay with it. And then what was the other thing about the weaponsmith or gunsmith that I wanted to touch on really quick? Like you said, with the changing the AK-70 or the AK-47 to the AK-74U, basically. Like, I'm interested to see what you can do with the actual SMGs, like the MP5, the MP7, some of these other ones. Like, can I have the MP5 with a longer barrel, meant for a longer range with similar mobility, even if the mobility lacks on or whatever? Because everything, they were talking about it on there. Like, you're making weapon builds like you're playing an RPG almost. Because your weapon builds, the attachments and everything that you add to it are going to change what the weapon can actually do, to where you might make something that's crazy strong, or you might make something that is absolutely terrible because you didn't pay attention to what you were actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to watch the stats and everything on it. And I think that's fantastic because it adds another element. Their exact wording, or it might not be the exact, but they're like, we realize that your weapon is the main character in multiplayer, and we want you to have full control over the customization of it. And I was like, about fucking time. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
care. I really don't care too much about the character customization as I did about the attachments and everything for the weapons. That's just me. I mean, I'd rather, like you said, have 60 different types of attachments that I can mix and match.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't care if I got a clown costume on and I'm charging in there as long as my weapon's good. I don't care what I'm wearing. Which you talking about the stats kind of rolls me to the next thing. They have perks on the guns now,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be anything from sleight of hand, which is faster reload. Um, it's it's cool because they put a pros con system, and I know in every COD, like if you look at the thing, it's like the bottom right hand of your screen. I know in Black Ops they had it because me and uh, Johnson Ty just streamed it, and I kind of noticed it. They have like the red tick marks when you switch an attachment over to kind of tell you, but this shows you straight up there, like, hey, if you put this on, you're going to get -5 in stability, but +10 in reload speed. So it actually does a better breakdown system of that to kind of, I guess, counterbalance it out because you could have
Mm-hmm.
a butt stock that reduces recoil, um, but it raises something else, and then you can put another attachment that kind of levels that out a little bit to where you
Right.
don't lose anything really.
Yeah, like it raises your stability, or lowers your recoil, but raises your time to aim down sights, or whatever it is. Things like that. Um, and that's another thing I'm interested in too, because I saw somebody had the M4, I believe it was, without any kind of a butt stock. So I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
man, taking an M4, basically turning it without that, that's gonna be great for playing objective modes, which I play objective a lot, domination, search, whatever. Be able to have the M4 and the power of the M4, be able to rush around without the stock, which should raise the mobility, lower the accuracy, or up the recoil, or whatever the exact statistics going to actually be, but still offer the same power as the M4. So
oh definitely.
I'm ecstatic. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, I'm gonna have to change my pants if I keep talking like this, because God, dude, it's about damn
You
time.
need like spare pants just right next to you in a stack. Just get a sponsorship from Levi's or something. Just have like a box of them next to you.
Eh,
Um,
the camera's all like shoulder, like chest up, so who cares? Like, you
you
can't
just
even
got a
tell.
bucket underneath of them at all times. Everybody, it's no need for
It's
the
all
pants.
good.
Period. Couple of equipment came back. We saw a little bit of it. The heartbeat sensor's back for Modern Warfare 2, except it's not attached to the gun like it was, where you just flip it out and it'll show you like a little radar. It's actually a piece of equipment. So you hold it up like a tablet and you're playing Angry Birds or insert your favorite game there. The attack insert's back. Uh, I wasn't really somebody that used it a whole lot. I get it's, how it could be implemented in games tactfully enough to where you could get behind an enemy, or with spawns changing so much in that game, um, throw one down, go up on this balcony, get sniped, you respawn right back there, go up. That sniper just like, hey, I already killed him, so he's not going to be there again. He's looking a different way, and then you take him out.
Hmm.
I get it. I get the use for it. One really cool thing I wanted to touch on was the snapshot grenade. We talked a little bit about this, and they showed a little bit of it. It's a grenade that has a little propeller on it, and you can throw it into a building. It'll blow up, and it will highlight everybody in that building in this green LED light that you can see through the walls. That's going to be fun because, I mean, you could say, okay, I saw one guy run in there, throw the grenade in, it goes off, and then suddenly you see 5 guys in there. So you're like, all right, well, I'm going to take out my RPG and I'm going to shoot it in there or throw a grenade or something like that. So a lot of cool equipment pieces that are coming out. They also had a lot of returning ones. I believe the Bouncing Betty's back.
Yeah, that looked awesome. Like, the way
C4.
they did that, look, I can't wait to see exactly how that's going to actually play out, because that looked interesting. It didn't look like your
Oh
typical
yeah.
bouncing Betty.
the thermite grenade that was basically a throwing knife with a thermite on top of it, and you throw it and it just explodes. I mean, it's just straight fire. Um, One cool little feature is they showed the Juggernaut suit off, and Juggernaut suit's kind of been a staple for the Modern Warfare series. You see it a lot. I think in the last mission on Modern Warfare 3, you play in a Juggernaut suit where you storm a big tower in it. But they have heavy metal music that plays in the helmet, and it sounds like you're actually got like your AirPods in or whatever you want to put in, and you're listening to it. Um, I heard a rumor that supposedly people around you can also hear the music if they're next to you in a fight. So that's kind of cool. It's a little like neat feature they put in that I liked.
That I think that would be awesome because it would kind of give you a way to know if somebody's coming at you with a Juggernaut. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because the Juggernaut's going to be crazy difficult to get rid of anyway. So it'll be just a kind of random little feature, like whatever kind of metal is playing, just hear some kind of a fucking scream or some crazy ass guitar riff as you run around the corner. You're gonna be like, oh fuck me, I'm out.
Yep.
You know, so
Oh yeah.
it's that would be awesome if other people can hear it. I'm really hoping that because I heard that as well, and I'm like, please, 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 please. I want to
Oh
see
yeah.
people shit themselves when I round the corner or break through a door with the Juggernaut suit.
I could already see it. People like, is that our Juggernaut? Is that theirs? Is that ours? And just running, just panicking. The headquarters game mode is back. I played a lot of this in Modern Warfare 1. I believe it was in Modern Warfare 2 as well.
hmm
I liked it because it was that kind of happy medium between like a domination, but it was constantly moving around. So it wasn't like, hey, there's three flags that never move. Just go take them over and over and over again. No, now you got a headquarters that, for those of you that don't know, it's like a flag of domination, but when you capture it, you hold it for a little bit and then it rotates to a different area of the map and you have to go retake it again in a different area. So you could take it and then it could shoot behind your enemy's spawn to where they're heavily like occupying it and it's easier for them. Now you got to fight them to get it back and hold it for longer to get more points. What was that game mode? I didn't catch what the name of it was, but it was like Search and Destroy, except you
Uh,
didn't have the two bomb sites.
I think it was called like cybersecurity or something like that. That's what I kept hearing them say. I could be wrong on that, but I heard them call it cybersecurity when they were loading into it. That one looks like it's a lot of fun. I feel like that could be a
Oh
pretty
yeah,
competitive game type, but could get very old when you got certain people on your team because you got to keep reviving.
I'm right here, man. I am right here.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that shade.
Wow. Anyways, moving on. Let's see
You're not going to
here.
talk about it at all.
Headquarters. Nope, nope. That's we'll see it at the 12-hour stream, man. I'll hard carry all day. I don't mind. Get on my back. I got you. One cool feature that we actually were both really hyped about was gun smoke and barrel like
Yeah.
heat coming off the weapons. I mean, I didn't notice it at first, and then I like had to play the video back. I'm like, that dude just expelled like 30 rounds, and I swear I saw smoke coming out of like his ejection port cover in the barrel. And you do as you're running, it's billowing off the weapon, and
hmm
it's little details like that that I think are really going to take this game over the top.
You can tell that somebody has experience with weapons when they're starting to use actual names for components to a rifle, injection port cover. You know,
What? Everybody's got an ejection
You're-
port cover, man.
I mean, I'm just saying how many people do you actually think are gonna know what the hell that is? But no, yeah, I was dude. Like when I watched it like 3 or 4 times when I saw it billowing out of the M4, I was like, oh my god, just that kind of little tiny attention to detail. I am fucking stoked for, man.
Oh yeah.
As well as like we were talking about the reloading, like the placing the magazine into the guns, the pistol holding it and one holding the fresh mag and the empty mag, and or holding the fresh mag in your hand, dumping the empty mag out and throwing it in, whatever. Like I was watching them reload the AK with the dual mags, how they took it out and how they actually placed it in. You can see the round inside of it and how they properly seated the magazine inside of it that you don't usually see in a video game. Like just that detail, I love it, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then speaking of detail, they talked a little bit about how they took the gear. We had talked about this on a previous podcast, but they were 3D scanning like everything to make it as realistic as possible. But they also touched that they were taking gear, like throwing it in pools, getting a waterlog, dragging it through sand, running over stuff like that to make it really authentic before they scanned it. And again, attention to detail. I mean, for those of you that have been in the military, they tell you attention to detail is everything. And for them to do that in this game and implement that, it blew me away just seeing it. And granted, yeah, it's probably not. How can I put that? I can't even say that it's not going to look that good on console, because even people that were there, streamers, were like, "This game looks amazing even on console."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's great.
I remember watching it as well, and they were talking about, they were like, our art people hated us because of the pictures we were sending them and everything, and they're like, we'd be driving along, and all of a sudden see someone off to the side. Oh fuck! Hold on, we gotta go snap that. So they fucking pull over. Like, they found some burnt vehicles on the roads or wherever the hell they went. I don't know where these guys were going through. They found a bunch of burnt up vehicles on the fucking desert and shit. They got some balls apparently. But yeah, they found burnt up vehicles, and they were taking the 3D scans of them so that they could get burnt vehicles to look as realistic as possible, with the charring on the metal, the peeling of the paint, like everything. I don't know. They went above and beyond for this.
They're just driving by the side and they see a little tiny piece of metal that looks like a ball, and they send it to him like, "What is this supposed to be? Grenade? Make it work." The last thing that I have is that doors. They put so much emphasis on doors in this game. They're like, "We don't want to just be a door that you just walk through. We want you to have like a long distance relationship with this door. Like you're going to go to high school with it for years. You're going to go to college. You're going to like not talk for a couple of years because you got families and kids, and you just fall out, and you find yourselves like years down the road together, and you make it happen and work." But I really like doors. If you can't tell, they had to where you could breach a door. You could just run straight through it, kick it open, like go in. You can throw flashbangs in. You can blow it up with C4. You can breach it. You can take it out to dinner. Walk it along the beach. You can do everything with these doors, and it's something that you didn't think a COD would need, but now it's in the game. Every other Call of Duty after this is gonna be like, "Well, yeah, the game's good, but having the fucking doors, man. Like last Call of Duty really killed it with the doors."
It's going to be more effective. We got fish. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of
water.
It's kind of what it reminded me of. The fish AI, but it was like, it's actually legit. So like, I'm excited for it as well, because watching them go through the door and then watching the trailers where they kind of peek through the door, see people in there, using the concussion to blow the door open without actually having to get to the door yourself and get into harm's way. They were talking about it, like they said that they did it off of the reveal. They did it the day before. Maven, I think it was talking about it during the broadcast. He said like 2 people stacked up on the door. They kicked the door open, and somebody was sitting way back with a sniper when they threw a concussion or whatever the hell it was. They blew the door open, and he sniped somebody that was just chilling in the back of the room, and then the other 2 rushed in and cleaned it up. I was
like, yeah.
Like, dude, that's just fucking awesome, man. Just thinking about the different tactics and different strategies that you can actually use, especially in a game mode like Search and Destroy, or Headquarters if it's in a room or something like that. Like, I can see us coming up with different ways to approach different situations. So yeah,
You're excited. Were you gonna say you're excited?
I am.
That's all I had, man. I don't know if you had anything else to touch on.
There's so much that I really could touch on. Like the 10v10 and 20v20 game modes. Very big maps. Like, the maps were huge. They had like little ATVs on them and everything. They look clunky. They didn't look like they were the best, but they're basically just designed to get you from point A to E really quick. Because I was watching the domination game mode, and there was 4 flags on like the 20v20 instead of just the typical 3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was A, B, C, D, E. No, 5, I guess. 4, 5. I don't know. It was 4 or 5. It went to A to E or A to D, something like that. I can't remember now. I don't fucking know, man. It's been some long days this past week. You got to give me a break, guys. Got to give me a little bit of a break.
Keep working, monkey boy.
I know, right? Got a long ways to go. But really though, like, they've changed so much. Like, I keep seeing people say, "Oh, this is Battlefield. This is just Battlefield." So you complain that Call of Duty stayed the same for years, for fucking years. Oh, Call of Duty needs to change things up. And then Black Ops 3 came out. Black Ops 4, Infinite Warfare. I hated Infinite Warfare personally. That's just my own opinion. They hated them. Absolutely hated them. And now they're changing things up, and it's, "Oh, this is Battlefield." Man, come on. Like, you can't.
You're always gonna.
God, you cannot please the game. Yeah, no, I know. You're always gonna have those people that are doing this shit. You're always gonna have people that are upset. You like the gaming community is so goddamn toxic anymore, man. If you don't like it, just don't play the fucking thing. It's that simple. If you don't like
Yeah.
something, don't acknowledge it. Don't talk about it. Like I keep seeing people comment on Facebook articles about it. Oh, I'm so tired of seeing this. Well, guess what? The way Facebook algorithms work, every time you click or comment on something, it's going to show up even more in your feed. So you're going to see even more of it. So keep clicking on it, keep commenting, keep putting a little angry face. You're just going to see more. Fucking Christ, man. Good
Sun's going
God.
down, big guy. Sun's
I
going
know.
down.
I'm starting to rage a little bit. Suicide sitting over here to my left, just shaking her head. It's just, yeah, pretty much. God, man, I don't know. I I just don't understand. Like people sit there and complain and bitch about everything and not realize that it's simple. Don't play it. And I think that's a problem with the community and a problem with society and everything else. That's for a whole entirely different style of a podcast.
Yeah,
But
you're not gonna please everybody with these games.
no, absolutely not. And that gets me to my next thing with like the white phosphorus.
Oh God.
People complaining about the white phosphorus. Oh, war crimes. You know, we're glorifying war crimes. Uh, it's a video game. They've already discussed that it's going to make you very uncomfortable, and that's what they are aiming to do. And you're not using it against innocent civilians in the multiplayer mode, like you're using it against other motherfuckers that are trying to kill you and win the game.
Right.
Like I don't know, man. I don't. I mean, if it was in the multiplayer and like it glorified, like you got 50 points for killing a dad with the white phosphorus, 100 points for killing the mom, 500 points for the kid, and 2,000 for killing old granny sitting over in a corner in a rocking chair knitting some booties or something. Yeah, I could see that causing an uproar. But it's two teams fighting against each other to win. It's all digital. Nobody's gonna be harmed in this shit.
You know what kills me about that too is Homefront. The first Homefront game, this just came to me from years ago. There's a scene in the game where you actually have to go to a depot and ignite white phosphorus on
oh
like
yeah,
the Koreans. Like no one said a
yeah.
thing about that. But
No,
yet we got a problem with it now. Is it just because like it's 2019 and everybody can complain about whatever they want to complain about? I don't
yeah,
know.
pretty much.
Again, like you said,
Oh, Spec Ops: The Line.
yeah.
Spec Ops:
Oh
The Line
man,
was probably the most fucked up
that
game that I've seen when it comes to something like this
yeah.
until potentially until this Modern Warfare, because I never got to play all the way through it. I only played the demo. I never got to pick it up. I really do want to go back and pick it up because I've heard how fantastic of a game it was, and
Yeah.
they said that with how gut wrenching and morally fucked parts of that game was, Modern Warfare could potentially be even worse. I'm like, oh man, okay. So
Yeah.
knowing a little bit, seeing some of that gameplay footage, excuse me, that's really got me kind of having high hopes for this because for multiple reasons. I'm not a sadistic fuck entirely. I'm not entirely a sadistic fuck. Okay,
The
slightly.
lines we toe.
I just it's things that the general people will never see. Even with combat footage that we've seen from overseas that's on live leak on YouTube and everything else, you don't see all the actual aftermath. They never show like all the incredibly graphic stuff, at least from what I've seen. Because I've searched it, because I'm just kind of curious from what actually happens over there. Because we see all the fucking shit, everything that they allow you to see, but you don't get to see everything. So it leaves a lot to the imagination, and I don't want to think things are actually happening that aren't, and I don't want to not know some things that are happening because I'm a realist. I like to know that the world ain't all sunshines, rainbows, candy canes, lollipops, and fucking flowers and shit. It's just not the reality of things. So they're trying to show a different side that video games have not shown before, and it's rated mature for a reason. Like,
Right.
who knows? Maybe it gets pushed to an adults only rating because of this.
I honestly, even if they push it to an adults only rating, I would be okay with that.
So would
Not
I.
only because, not because I'm of age to buy the game. It's just they're doing a smart thing by showing the raw side of war,
Mhm.
something that a lot of people won't ever know. They're giving them a taste of it, and whether you like it or not, it's
This shit happens.
it's in the world. There's terrible shit in the world. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, there are terrible people and terrible things happening in the world.
Yeah. To pretend they're not there is more of an injustice than anything.
Right.
If you acknowledge the shit that's going on, at least maybe people will have a better understanding about different things that's happening and sacrifices that people are actually making.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just is what it is. I'm not trying to get to the point where we're getting fucking political and shit, but it's the reality of the game and it's the content of the game. So it kind of fits with this episode and the topic at hand. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I want it to make me feel shitty if I accidentally fucking kill somebody that I wasn't supposed to kill. Like thinking a fucking woman is going for a gun when she's actually just trying to get her kids out of the house or whatever to safety. And I pull the trigger and then their kids fucking like drop their knees crying, sobbing over their dead mother that I just fucking shot or something like that, like.
I could see them just with the way the multiplayer changed, where you can't just speed into a fight like you said. I could see them doing the campaign the same way to where, okay, I failed this because I shot innocent civilians and I had to start this over. So maybe I need to slow my roll and take a more tactful approach instead of the typical Call of Duty of just flying in.
Right.
I think you're going to see a lot of morality changes too in people.
I kind of don't want to see you have to start over because you shoot somebody. I want you to have to suffer throughout the game for it.
Yeah, that'd probably be even worse than starting over, honestly.
Right. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, say, you're playing through it and you kill an innocent mother or you shoot a kid or whatever the case might be. You get to a point where you would have had allies in the game, people fighting alongside you. And now they said, fuck you. We've seen what you've done. You're a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. You can fight on your own. And then make a mission's difficulty go up, based on what you've done in the previous missions and everything. I would love to see a gradient difficulty setting like that, or however you want to
like a morality grade or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Change the difficulty throughout the game. So if you put it on rookie or whatever, the easiest difficulty, but you keep killing civilians, by the time you get to the end, you're fucking on veteran, hardened, expert, whatever the hell it might be, because you keep being a fucking asshole.
Definitely. So. Yeah.
Maybe that's asking for too much, but I think it'd be interesting to see.
Everything else they put it, the doors, man. The doors have families.
We're gonna keep coming back to the doors. God damn it, the fucking doors.
I'm gonna cosplay as a door this year for Halloween. It's gonna be awesome.
Fucking fantastic. Get Angry Pig to 3D print you your fucking knobs and shit.
I'm just gonna paint myself brown, just a brown bodysuit. Just a big old knob hanging off of it.
You might want to be careful painting yourself brown. That might get you into some trouble.
Anyways,
you might want to rethink that. The last thing I think that I do have is because we didn't touch on it at all was the night maps, like the actually using the night vision goggles and shit like that. Man, like that was awesome. Oh, and the no mini map. We didn't even touch on the no mini map at all.
Oh yeah, because you got the personal radar.
You what they call it now. Radar. It's like 1 or 2 kills for the kill streak or whatever. But hey, but yeah, the night map I thought was awesome. I went back, I watched it, man, and like there was times where you could not see where anybody was shooting you from. Like you had to use that night vision. You had to pay attention. And the laser sight I noticed on that specific map came in very handy because it definitely would show you. It would help you out a lot. So that's something that I'm looking forward to because you never really needed night vision goggles, even back on like Wet Work and COD 4, or anything else that was at night, which wasn't very many. The night vision goggles were there just to be a fucking pain in the ass. That's really
I think I used them like a handful of times just to see how they were.
I'd use it when I was bored, like when I was sitting there playing Search and Destroy, waiting for somebody to come up. I'd just sit there and click on the fucking left button on the D-pad or whatever. Click, 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 click. Keep hearing a little whirring noise, going on and off. But this one is actually going to be legit, and you actually will need to use them. So I think that's fucking awesome. I can't wait. As everything else that I've talked about in this fucking game that I can't wait for, it's the reality of it. Imagine playing Search and Destroy on that, though, being the last one alive, being 1v4, 1v5. How much?
Just getting stalked. Like,
yeah. Dude, I can't wait to see some of the kill cams that people come up with and shit, too, because you're not going to be able to see anybody. You're not going to have the mini map up there to show you where shit's going on. Dude. Ah, God. There's going to be some great clips coming from this game.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Well, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else.
I mean, I could probably figure things out, but probably also go on for another 3 or 4 hours as long as that shit's going on. So I'm done. I mean, we're about to hit 45 minutes. No, that's what we said. We want to try to stick around. It's kind of where we want to be at for every episode.
We hit the time hack?
And not even quite. It's 44 minutes and 25 seconds.
The time hack?
I know, right? Holy shit.
All right, we'll wrap this up. But thank you, everybody, for tuning into the 10th episode of the Potato Man Podcast. Go ahead and check out Off Tackle. I believe, Pat, you and Odin recorded it today.
Yes,
So that's up.
we got it recorded and uploaded. We experienced some technical difficulties last week. It is a bit long, but we think it's pretty decent, especially if you like football.
There you go. And then the second episode of the Crimson Mask is up. I believe they're up to episode 2.
Yes, they are on episode 2. They will be filming episode 3 later this week.
So there you go. A couple things to look forward to. A couple new podcasts. Hope you enjoyed watching us rant about Modern Warfare for like the umpteenth time. I'm sure we're probably going to be touching on it as more comes out with like story mode gameplay and everything. But with that, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost to 50 subscribers on the YouTube channel at Middle of Nowhere Entertainment. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.